The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Women's Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericawomen.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome to the show, everyone. I hope that you're having a beautiful week, and let me wish you a happy Tuesday if you haven't had that wish to you today. And this month, we've been focused on women, and in particular, mothers, or other women that have inspired us in our life. In honor of Mother's Day, we have been taking a moment every show in May to really highlight or share about how a woman or women have impacted us in our life. So we're going to make sure to I have an amazing guest on, Teri Hockett, and we're going to be sharing from our hearts today about women that have inspired us. And this is actually a unique show. We do this once a quarter, and it's called Ask Rebecca. And this is a time where we open up the floor, in a sense, and really make ourselves accessible to anyone and any questions that you may have about being empowered or business or facing fear, coming out of hiding, whatever it may be on your journey in life that you're looking for support in. We are here to help you do that. And so let me give you the phone number that you can call in during the show. It's 866-613-1612. Again, that's 866-613-1612, and just ask for Rebecca, and they will let me know that you're on the line, and we'll be happy to take your question live. If you're a little bit shyer and would prefer to submit your question via email, that is completely fine as well. Just send an email to rebecca@yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Again, that's Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. You'll actually see a little box on the show banner there where you can click right below where it says Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. You can click on that and send a message to the host. That'll come right to me. So either way, you can reach out to us. And we do have a number of questions that we're going to go through today that people have either emailed to us or they've given to us at some of our live events. And they have all given us permission to use their name and their question on the air. So great opportunity for them to get visibility as well as for us to answer their questions, because we find when someone has a question, there are many people that can be served by that answer. So that's what today's about. It's really about empowering you, making ourselves accessible to answer any questions that you may have, and we do this on a quarterly basis. So I encourage you to lean in and reach out to us so that we can support you on your journey. Right, Teri?
Yes, ma'am.
And Teri Hockett is an amazing resource of information and a great friend, and she's my co-host today. So in a little bit, I'm going to do more formal introductions so you can get to know her if you don't know her already. But together, we love doing this show to really serve you. We come from different backgrounds and a vast experience that we bring to the table to really serve and support you. But as I talked about, we're highlighting every show women that have empowered us. And this month I've been focusing on grandmothers because I have 4 grandmothers that have really inspired and impacted me in my life. And the 4th grandmother that I wanted to talk about today is my Grandma Hall. And this is my dad's mom. And Grandma was a widowed at a very young age with 3 children on a farm. And was a teacher. And so she was surviving, managing this farm with 3 children and teaching. And she is a powerful woman that has a very strong reputation. It's funny, when I go back to Ohio, they all know the Halls. So my maiden name is Hall. And there's a pew in the church that we all sit in when we go, and just really well respected in the community that she's part of, and had a farm that she was able to work with 3 children, put them all through college, have them really reach out and impact the world in a positive way. And one of the things that I inherited from her was her laugh. So the laugh that you hear is actually the same laugh that my grandmother Hall has. And so I'm really grateful for the strength and fortitude that she has, that she's passed on through the generations, and her willingness when things like that hit at a young age, widowed, 3 children, managing a farm with livestock and plants and all of those things that she had to suddenly take care of, that she has this strength of character to keep moving forward, to keep pushing through kind of no matter what. And I believe that's a real strength of character and determination that she's shared and passed through the generations. And I'm really grateful for that. I see it in my father, and I see some of that in me. And I'm thankful for the legacy that she's given us in that way, and for her laugh. So part of that determination and persistence and strength, combined with this beautiful laugh and sense of humor, to really enjoy life, to still find joy in it, even in those hard moments. And I believe that has really come as part of the legacy that my grandmother, Grandma Hall, has passed along. So I'm very thankful for her in that way and sharing that with all of us. And then the second woman I wanted to talk about is my stepmother, Patricia, but I call her Patty. And she is really the mother of my heart. And for those of you who know some of my story, that I came from a background of abuse, and I was rescued. And I was a teenager when 12 and a half, almost 13, when I was brought into a household where my parents, my dad and my stepmom, were fairly newly married. And suddenly she has this troubled, 12, 13-year-old that is struggling and trying to heal and go on a healing journey. And what I love and so appreciate about my mom, I call her my mom, Patty, is that she showed me a mother's love. So I still got to experience that. And she would let me follow her around the house and do all kinds of things because I couldn't get enough of experiencing that kind of love and support, and that she let me into her life in that way. And I am so appreciative that I was not only rescued, but I had the opportunity to really experience a mother's love with somebody putting their arm around me and walking beside me in that way. And so I am forever grateful and so thankful to have Patty in my life, the mother of my heart. So thank you all for letting me share about those 2 amazing women that I'm very, very grateful for. And Teri, I wanted to give you an opportunity if you had a woman that had impacted you, or several women that touched your life. And I just want to take a moment. That's what this is like. Take a moment to kind of honor them, acknowledge them, and share some of the wisdom or way that they impacted you. So Teri, do you have something you'd like to share?
Oh, there's so many wonderful women that I run into every day, it's the everyday woman that is accepting her challenges, understanding that everybody else is coming to the table with them, and moving forward. And we've been with, if you look at the women that are living on the brink, those ones that Maria Shriver, and she's probably one of my all-time heroes, that she writes about, and it's that woman that's one paycheck, one sick day away from losing everything. She's head of household. She's trying to hold it together for her family, and she's working and doing the best that she possibly can with little resources. And I honor that woman every day in the writing that I do, and just the amount of tenacity that they must have to get through the day is just awe-inspiring.
Beautiful. Thank you. I love that, because I think sometimes we think that we make a difference by some big thing that we do or some public way that we're acknowledged or noticed, or somebody is, that we have to go change mountains to make a difference. And I think it's that everyday way that we're choosing to live that can make such a huge difference. It can be a smile of encouragement. It can be a hug. It can be cheering somebody on when they need it at most. And sometimes it's holding space for somebody as they're processing or they're making it to that next check. And so I thank you, Teri, for sharing that. I appreciate that.
Oh, I mean, it's just near and dear to my heart when you see these amazing women, and they're just, you think they're just trying to get by, but they literally are, they're touching lives and making a difference. And so those are the women that I just truly love to honor.
Thank you. I agree. I think it's every breath that we take, every step that we take, every way that we choose to be moment to moment is building our life. It's building our future. It's building the way we are. And it's impacting, because we're not in a bubble, it's impacting all of those around us. And so I encourage everyone to really live your life on purpose and be purposeful in how you're choosing to spend your time and your energy and your resources, because you're amazing and valuable and so needed, that I want to make sure that you're really valuing yourself and know what a treasure each and every one of you is to everyone around you and to us. Right, Teri?
Yes. Speaking my language today, and I absolutely love to now know where your laugh comes from. That's amazing.
Yep.
Thank you for sharing that. I think in the 2 years that I've known you, I have not ever heard that one. So I'm
Yep.
so happy. And I want to honor that grandma, because your laugh is just amazing. Like every time I hear it, I smile. You have to smile.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, and it really makes me, it's neat to me that I have something like that I can honor and carry forward part of my grandmother in everything that I do. And I didn't know I had her laugh until I went back to Ohio in my late teens and I visited her, and suddenly I heard my laugh from across the room, and it wasn't me. And I was like, that's where that came from.
Beautiful.
So, beautiful. Thank you. Well, listeners, we appreciate you giving us a moment to really reflect on women that have empowered us and inspired us and encouraged us on our journey. And we're getting ready to go to our commercial break. And so what I would love to have you do is, one, absolutely listen to the sponsors that we have, because these are people that really believe in empowering women. That's why they're sponsors. That's why they're in those commercial spots. But I also want to invite you to take a moment to really think about a woman or a group of women that have inspired you, and actually take the step to write that down and make a mental note, or decide to share with them how they've inspired you after the show today. Take that extra step, an extra moment. And when we come back, we're going to have a really special exercise of connecting together and listening to some of our inner wisdom before we get into those amazing questions. So we'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Your favorite Voice America Talk Radio Network shows and hosts are in your car, outdoors, and wherever you need them to be. Listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Are you struggling with changing or re-entering your career? Teri Hockett, CEO of What's for Work and transitional career strategist, works with her clients to craft their personal brand, gain clarity, and create career opportunities. Teri helps her clients discover and stand in their value and learn the tools and techniques needed to successfully navigate today's changing job market. Start today with your free membership. Step powerfully into the career of your dreams. Join Teri at whatsforwork.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that commercial break and you got an opportunity to take a moment and just kind of acknowledge someone that has impacted your life, one of those special women that have touched you in a profound and inspiring way. And I really encourage you to write that name down and make a point of reaching out to them this week and letting them know. It can be such an encouragement to know that we've touched a life or that something about us has made a difference, because there are moments where we don't think we have, or we can get discouraged, and it can just be such a beautiful burst of power and information and encouragement when someone lets us know you made a difference. You've made a difference in my life. So I encourage you to give that gift and share that gift with somebody and let them know how they've touched and impacted you. And part of my goal in this, and I don't know if I've shared this on many shows, that it's really to help the information that we share with you really make a difference in your life, that it impacts you, that it gives you traction in a sense. And that's why we have free gifts, and I'll share how to access those at the end of the show, because I really want you to be able to use the information that we share with you to be empowered, to be encouraged, and then actually have some tools and resources that can help you start to bring some of these insights and new ways of thinking into your life in a practical and a profound level. And that's a lot of what my vision is. I want you to be inspired and empowered and encouraged, but I also want it to bring transformation into your life. And that's a choice that we each get to make every time we're given a new insight or piece of information. It's really, what are we going to do with it? Is it something that is going to become part of our life, or is it just for a moment? And that's something I encourage you as you're getting information, not just on this show, but others, that really, how am I going to bring this into my life and make this part of who I am on a cellular level? And our goal is to really bring you tools and resources and guests to do that, and bring you that kind of value and information along with laughs. Right, Teri?
Exactly.
And part of what I have found transformational in my life, because I'm a doer, I don't know if any of you out there are, I go from one thing to the next to the next. I love making lists, and I love doing a lot of stuff. And yet, when I'm always in the do mode and I'm putting things on the list, I'm not pausing, I'm not listening, and I'm not tapping into my wisdom and listening to the wisdom around me if I'm always on the go. So one of the biggest gifts that I have been given was a mentor that encouraged me to pause, stop, and listen and breathe. That every breath, we can make a choice. Particularly when we feel like we can afford the time the least is probably when we need a new perspective the most. And that's the moment to really breathe and listen. And so part of what I bring into every show, so on the Ask Rebecca show, we tell you more behind the scenes kind of things. So you get that insight in what some of our thinking is about things. But why I bring that into every show is because I want to give you an opportunity to In community, stop, pause, breathe, and listen. And develop those listening muscles and the breathing muscles. And it can bring a profound change and shift and empowerment into your life. So today, what I'd love to have you do is think about some of what Teri and I shared earlier about women that have empowered us and inspired us. And if we think for a moment, what is it that I want my legacy to be when I leave? My grandmother has given me so many amazing gifts, and her laugh is like the icing on the cake. But the strength of character and joy and the persistence and to keep pushing through and forward no matter what. And think of others kind of outside of myself, like she did for her family. And those are lessons that I'm really, really grateful for. And when I think about what I want to leave behind in my life, it isn't that, boy, she did a lot of things. That's not what I want on my tombstone. I don't want, she crossed a lot of things off her list. What I want to leave behind is that I made a difference, that I shared my gifts and talents with others. I didn't keep anything hidden, in a sense, that I brought it all. And that my hope and my heart's desire is that I make lives a little bit brighter, or the world a little bit brighter in my sphere of influence for passing there, that I do more good and service and support than harm, that I made a difference in another life. That's what the sort of thing I want people to say about me and the legacy that I'm leaving behind, is I want to make a difference in others' lives in a positive way. And when I do that, and when I get the feedback that I've done that, it makes me feel good and full and complete and on purpose. And what I'd love for you to do is take this moment to breathe in, center yourself. Those of you who are driving, stay safe. Keep your hands on the wheel, eyes open. But those of you who are able to, actually close your eyes for a moment and breathe in. And ask yourself, what is it that I want to leave as a legacy? What is the impact I want to give and make in this world? Don't overscreen the answer or the emotion or the feeling that comes up. Just listen and feel and take in that valuable information. And actually put one hand on your heart and one hand on your head. Let's bring all of you into this. One more breath. So what is it, your legacy, that you want to leave behind? And what is it that you need to encourage you on your journey? Just listen to that amazing wisdom and picture and information. And when you're ready, go ahead and open up your eyes, come back into the room and space with us. And I encourage you to capture that information, because when we know what we're looking for, what the next piece is that we need, it's a lot easier to recognize it when it comes to move forward in it. And Teri, I didn't know if you had something laid on your heart during that exercise that you would like to share.
You know, it was interesting today. I was reading Haro, which I do every day, and they wanted somebody to comment on where we felt about the glass ceiling. And the difference that I want to make is that term becomes obsolete, that it no longer matters, that we don't have to say women are trying to get through that we have arrived. And that's just so near and dear to my heart, and what I strive for every day, that the mommy wars are over, that all women are working together, striving for what is best for them and their family, and there's no judgments placed on that from other people or outside forces, that you just live the life that you have set forth for yourself.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Are you going to share yours?
I was just sitting with it for a moment, and I thank you for asking. And I was thinking, well, I kind of shared before, but the new piece that came to my heart in that time together is that I want women to understand that they are beautifully and wonderfully made on purpose and for a purpose, that each of you has an amazing value, not because of what you do, it's because of who you are and who you're created to be. And I think the world, in addition to the legacy I want to leave behind, the world I want to see, and that's what I was kind of feeling into as you were sharing, Teri, that I want to be in a world where we all are willing to shine, that we're willing to bring forward all of who we are, all of our perfection and imperfection, because we're perfect in our imperfection, the way that we're made, that we'll be willing to share all of those gifts and talents and abilities, a really bright and shining, beautiful world where there is more of a collaboration versus sometimes what I see is a people sometimes fall into that scarcity mode or competition. And I really want to see us come together, lifting each other up and really shining. There's room for everybody to shine. I think that's what's beautiful, laid on my heart. So thank you. And I wanted to officially introduce you, Teri, because I know a lot of people that are listening have heard you speak before or may know your name, but I want to make sure for those who don't, that they know a little bit more officially about you now that they've met your heart a bit in our conversations today. And Teri Hockett is a friend of mine who I just am so grateful for to have her in my life on so many different levels. But she is also a national speaker, a transitional career strategist, a CEO of What's for Work, and she is passionate about helping women transition, whether it's back into the workforce or it's creating their own business, but really helping them understand their true, unique market value in today's market and really bringing that forward in an amazing way. And that's a lot of the work that I see you do, Teri, and really, I think you're very much on purpose towards the world that you want to see. So I think it's truly beautiful, and I officially welcome you to the show.
Oh, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
May I return the favor?
You may.
So for those of you who maybe this is your first time to the show, Rebecca Hall Gruyter is an amazing woman who brings her heart and purpose forth in everything that she does. And she is the founder of Your Purpose Driven Practice, the creator of a Women's Empowerment Series, which is several times a year, where she highlights not only other amazing speakers, but bringing her message forward that you can share in the room with her. It's just really highly suggest you check out her website, yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. She's also a speaker. She does a speaker talent search where she helps other people really grow their message and get it out there. She's amazing with money, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that later, but she has a Money Summit. She's an in-demand speaker and a frequent guest expert on success panels, telesummits, TV, and radio shows. She's the host of Voice America radio show, which you're listening to right now, and a best-selling author with over 14 years' experience in the financial industry, growing multiple six-figure businesses and practices. She's received awards for her self-expertise, networking skills, and transformational coaching. Rebecca is committed to helping you line up your business and finances with your values so that you can impact the world powerfully. So I'm thrilled to be here again with you today and being able to ask you some more questions.
Great. Thank you. And thank you so much for sharing a little bit about me. And listeners, I hope you are getting a great opportunity to hear Teri and I from a heart place, and then also some of our professional background and our areas of business expertise. I just think it's really powerful to know both parts of women, and I don't know that we always share all of them together. So I'm really excited to do that on the show today. We're getting ready for our next commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to be taking calls and answering questions. We look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Your favorite Voice America Talk Radio Network shows and hosts are in your car, outdoors, and wherever you need them to be. Listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Are you struggling with changing or re-entering your career? Teri Hockett, CEO of What's for Work and transitional career strategist, works with her clients to craft their personal brand, gain clarity, and create career opportunities. Teri helps her clients discover and stand in their value and learn the tools and techniques needed to successfully navigate today's changing job market. Start today with your free membership. Step powerfully into the career of your dreams. Join Teri at whatsforwork.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that commercial break, and we are getting to the question and answer portion that we've been promising from the beginning of the show. And with this, I'm actually officially going to hand the floor over to Teri, who will be leading this question section and really sharing the questions that listeners have either submitted beforehand, are emailing into us, or for those of you who do want to call in, she will be taking the calls. So Teri, the floor is yours.
Why, thank you. And I'm going to start out with money. Because,
love it.
You know, as much as we want to live in the heart and do well in the world, we also have to feed ourselves first. And there's a couple of questions that came up at the last event, and one of them came from Brandy Jones. She's the CEO of END, The Red. And she says, Rebecca, I recently attended your money summit. What and how you shared about money really touched my heart and business. Can you share one thing, the first step to having a relationship with your money?
Thank you. And what I would say about money is, in our society, I think we've gotten so separated and we're uncomfortable talking about it. It's not like a polite conversation that we want to lean into and talk around at dinner. And for a lot of people, it's a subject that has become sensitive and uncomfortable, and there are wounds around it. Sometimes people are embarrassed or beating themselves up with where they're at now, or they're not sure the next step, or they would rather not have to deal with it at all. And I find that's kind of regardless of the amount of money they have, the amount of assets that they have, there's this discomfort and separation on both sides, not having where we should be. And there's a lot of myths and misunderstandings around it that's creating this separation. And so when we look at starting to talk about business or talk about money and how it's working in our lives, the place I invite people to start is really look at where you're at, not with judgment, not with criticism, not with any of those emotions, but almost with a curiosity, like what's going on here? And on a practical and a profound level, you need both. So really looking in and looking at, do I have a relationship with money? Or is it kind of relationship ? Or is it I can't wait to get back together with my money and create this next thriving, amazing thing that we're building together? Is it that kind of a relationship? kind of just look at where you're at. And the same thing with how money is flowing in your life. Is there more month than funds? Are there more funds than month? Is it moving in a direction that means something to you, or is it pulling you further away? Because we need to have an understanding of where we're at, and then we can look at where we want to go. And if there's a bridge or a gap of where we're at to where we want to go, then we can start building it. But as long as we stay separated and we're not looking and we're making assumptions, it's a way of hiding and not moving forward. So the first step is really looking at where are you at, not with judgment and criticism, but with curiosity and understanding.
Ooh. And it's so important today. Reading there was an article out today even that said that 20%, 1 in 5 Americans are retiring into poverty.
Yeah.
1 in 5. That was astounding. And I know in California alone it's higher. How do we, taking that first step is so huge. And where do you take them from there?
Well, once we kind of know where you're at, then we look at where you want to go. And sometimes people are very resistant to this. They would much rather look at planning a 2-week vacation and spend a lot more of energy and excitement in that than they do about how they're going to spend 20, 30, 40, or 50 years, depending on how long that retirement piece is. And sometimes it's because it's intimidating or it's a long way off. I don't want to think about it. I'd rather not deal with it. I don't know if I'm going to have what I need, so let's just not deal with it and kind of live for now. And there really needs to be a balance. And every day, the decisions you're making around money are leading to your future. It really matters. And you can absolutely build the future you want, but it's a lot easier the more time you have. So the sooner you can look and understand how it fits together, the more empowered you can be in that journey. And it can be small, slight course changes or sometimes corrections to help you get there. And the other piece I would add on to that is not only understanding where you're at, where you want to go, it's getting support. You don't have to do it all yourself. You don't have to figure it all out. Really look for an expert that can walk beside you, that's done it before, that's walked beside others, so you're not skinning your knees in the process as much, that you're not making some of the mistakes and learning that way. Really get the support of someone who can help you build the future that matters to you. But that's the key thing to look for. They're not building some plan that's a strategy and a formula. They should be building it around who you are, caring about what you want to build and how in a way that makes you feel good and is in alignment with you. And that's how they build the plan and the strategy to get from where you're at to where you want to be.
Wow. That's so powerful. And so much what they need to hear. So as women business owners, Gail Bode of Bode Office Solutions, she wanted to know, how do you help small business owners learn to pay themselves first? What could be their first step so that they're not ending up in that situation?
I love this question, Gail. Thank you. It's a similar step whether you're an entrepreneur and in business or not. I think we hear this phrase, pay yourself first, but nobody stops and explains what that means. And what it means is you pay yourself something, especially business owners. So much of how cash can flow is that you just spend everything that comes in towards the business and you work some of your stuff into that. Instead of really stepping back and saying, how much do I want to earn or take home, and let me write that check to myself. Paying yourself first means that you're literally writing a check to yourself like a bill that you would pay to everyone else, but you're doing it to yourself first. And you're working that into the budget. You're working that into the cash flow. As someone who may not be a business owner, you do the same thing, that you really start allocating how the funds are coming in. You start dividing it up into the areas that you want to spend it. And this is called creating a spending plan. It's not a budget is here are the boundaries. A spending plan is this is how I choose. So stepping into leadership position with your money, how I choose to spend what comes in. And these are the plans I have for the funds as they come in, but make sure to include yourself in that equation, in that spending plan. Have a line item for yourself. I was going to say for Rebecca, but I'm not asking you to send me checks. So substitute in your name. Put a line item for this is the Teri Fund. This is for me to build and do these things that I want to build and do in my life.
So I know you have the money summits that teach this. Do you also have do other people that are outside of this area, because I know you have listeners all over the world at this point, how can they get some access to this expertise that you share?
Oh, thank you for asking that. I actually have a free gift. It's an ebook, and there's an interview that Lisa Lamont has done with me around money that is included with this ebook. And it really talks about the 7 myths and powerful truths about money. But I have to give you a warning with the free gift before I tell you how to access it. Because I believe in empowering you and really putting you into a leadership position with your money, which means to me that you are making the choices. You are directing where the funds go, the life that you're building, and what you're doing with it. This ebook will help you do that, because once you know some of the common myths and the actual truth, you won't be able to believe that myth anymore. And then you have a choice. Now that I know the truth, how do I choose to be in relationship with money? So it is an interactive ebook. It's not passive, just information. It will really empower you to make decisions and connect with money in a different way. So if that pulls at your heart and that draws you in, then I invite you, if you go to my website, which is yourpurposedrivenpractice.com, you click the money tab, you're going to see that free gift, that ebook that you can access that information on. You will also find it in the free radio show gifts that I will lead you to at the end of our time together as well. But if you want to lean in and really access that gift right away, it's at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Hit the money tab, money programs, and you'll see right there on the top of the page this 7 myths and powerful truths about money. It's just a free ebook, electronic book to support you in your relationship with money.
I think it's incredible that you offer a gift with warning. That's beautifully said, because not everybody's ready to do the work, and it's not to be taken lightly. It's your livelihood, and you know, money cannot make us happy, but lack of it can certainly add to being unhappy.
Yes.
Wow, that's a beautiful share.
Thank you. And
So
I know
actually.
Go ahead. We're getting close to going to our next commercial break, so I don't know if you want to do a cliffhanger or what you would like to do.
I'm going to do a cliffhanger on business reach and influence, because this is so much of what we need to do is elevate our influence. And Rebecca is going to answer a few questions around how to up your influence, up your game, so that you are getting the visibility that you need around your message and growing your own business.
I love it. So make sure to tune in when we come back as we look at really expanding our influence and reaching the world with our gifts, our talents, and our abilities. We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Your favorite Voice America Talk Radio Network shows and hosts are in your car, outdoors, and wherever you need them to be. Listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Are you struggling with changing or re-entering your career? Teri Hockett, CEO of What's for Work and transitional career strategist, works with her clients to craft their personal brand, gain clarity, and create career opportunities. Teri helps her clients discover and stand in their value and learn the tools and techniques needed to successfully navigate today's changing job market. Start today with your free membership. Step powerfully into the career of your dreams. Join Teri at whatsforwork.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. And actually, Teri, I didn't share this with you, but I just saw a comment come through. And on a telesummit that I was interviewed on recently, I used some terms around money, and they're retweeting them right now. So I thought I would just share that moment with all of our listeners. And so I had used the phrase a number whisperer or a money whisperer because it makes sense to me and how it all comes together. And then really wanting to help people understand and kind of bridge the gap was really showing them the softer side of money, and that's bringing in that practical and profound level. And when we can make that connection, it's really, really powerful. So those of you who like Twitter and follow things on there, you might start seeing some of that going on right now. I wanted to give you the behind the scenes story on that.
The money whisperer.
Yep, I love that. So it was fun that they leaned into that. So I wanted to hand the floor back to you. I know that our time goes so rapidly and that you had some questions about business and influence I wanted to make sure that we addressed.
So this is a short and long question depending on how you want to answer it.
Okay.
Scott wants to know, what is the best way to grow your business and expand your reach?
So thank you, Cynthia, for that question. And the short answer is you have a plan. The biggest downfall I see out there is that we start moving forward in a business and we may be excited about what we do or have a certain skill set and maybe figure out what we're going to charge for it, but we don't have a plan. We're just kind of hoping that we'll bump into people that are going to purchase what we have, or we keep approaching things the same way instead of really stepping back and let's be strategic. If I have time, energy, and resources that I need to allocate so that I can reach the people that I'm called to reach, you want to be strategic about it. You want to make sure you're going to things that are where your people are at that you're trying to reach, that you're positioning yourself in ways that make sense for what you're offering, and that you have a plan where your business, as it grows, the next things that you're stepping into. So the biggest tip I can give you is have a plan. Have a plan around your business. Have a plan around how you're expanding and reaching your people, and it will save you a lot of heartache and a lot of resources in the long run because you can more efficiently get there if you know where you're going.
That advice resonates with you and your message because to me it's having your purpose. If you have a plan, you know your purpose and you put a plan in place to achieve it. So it's driving, it just so resonates with your entire message. I love it.
Thank you. Great.
So do we have time for one more, or are we out of time already?
Well, we have time for one more, but let me give them the access to the free gifts. So I make sure I honor that. So those of you who are listening and wanting to access not only the free gift that I shared, but also gifts from past shows and future shows, this is how you do it. So you can get some of those tools and resources to support you on your journey. If you're listening to us live, right below the banner on the right-hand side, you're going to see a bunch of links that are a red color. When you look over there, click on the radio show gifts, and that's the tab or the link that will open up all the gifts to you. You simply put your name and email address in there so we can stay in touch, and then choose the gifts, all or several, that will really serve and support you on your journey. Those of you who are listening to the replay, you also can access these if you go to my website, which I gave before, but it's www.yourpurposedrivenpractice. Click on the radio show tab this time, and in the left-hand corner, you're going to see empowerment gifts. You click on that, and you go through the same process, and you will see all those amazing tools and resources right there, ready to serve and support you on your journey. And then, Teri, I know you had another question.
I do. I love this question because it goes to the heart of the matter at so many times. So Vicki Delajoyo, she's from The Way of Joy, and she asked, how do you deal with doubt, the quiet voice that says, not really?
That is a beautiful question, and actually one I get quite a bit. This coming up with doubt and fear. A lot of times as we are looking and expanding and growing, we're going into quote unquote territory we haven't been before. And what happens is our mind and our body tries to protect us because we don't know it can survive. We haven't done that before. And so we'll have all these reactions within our body. Our mind will start whispering, are you sure? I don't think you can do that. It's not safe. And so then we find ourselves sometimes reacting and stepping back instead of leaning in. And what I want to let you know is anytime you do something new and you're stretching and you're growing, these things will come up. And it's actually a good and healthy sign. It means you're stretching somewhere new. It doesn't mean that you're in mortal danger. And you have to remind yourself of that. And sometimes what I find helps that is to have a conversation instead of pulling back because it's a little uncomfortable or I'm feeling a little unsure. Like doing it is kind of how you learn. And as children, I think we know that, but somehow when we become adult, we lose some of that enthusiasm to learn. Well, that didn't work. Let's try this. Or I want to explore and see where this starts and stops. So I try to bring that energy into, and then I remind myself, you're not in mortal danger. If we need to leave, we will. I promise to protect myself as I go into this new phase. I'm okay. I see the exit if I need to take it, but I'm going to lean into this because I want to learn this. I want to try that. And it helps calm down some of that fear and some of the doubt because I also find it disguises itself as I'm not ready. And what I can tell is you probably will never feel ready. And if you keep waiting to be ready, you're going to keep getting ready to get ready to get ready to get ready. The feeling sometimes comes after. And you do your due diligence in a sense. You take the next step, and the next step prepares you for the next step and the next step. But if we wait until we feel ready, we're always going to be waiting. And what you're called to do and what you're called to bring forward and who you are is too important to be permanently waiting, trying to get perfect. And in case you didn't know, none of us are perfect. We just aren't. But we can bring forward ourselves in the best way we know how in that moment, in that time. And it is a gift in bringing it forward. So I just want to encourage each of you to not keep waiting and trying to get perfect before you bring yourself forward, because we're just never going to be perfect. And that's okay. We're not designed to be. But there is a gift in who you are right now and what you have to bring forward. And if you're feeling that pull at your heart, then there's someone somewhere that needs exactly what you have right now, not next week, not 3 years from now, not when you have this certification or that certification. There's really a need for what you have right now, exactly as it is, perfect in its imperfections. And I just want to encourage and inspire you on that. And Teri, we are down to just the last minute of the show here, and I wanted to give you an opportunity if you had a final thought that you wanted to share.
And it's along these lines, is to get comfortable being outside the box, because throw the box away. That's only something that's been artificially put around you that you've allowed to stay there, and it's safe outside your comfort zone. It's completely safe, and it's actually quite fun.
Yes. I love that. Throw away the boxes. We are not box people.
We are not.
Beautiful. And it's absolutely true. When I was letting fear dictate me more and more, there were so many things I said I would never do there on my never do list. And it was really fear in disguise. And what I have found is I've done many of those things. I actually really love all of them. And I'm really grateful to be living a life where I get to step forward and grow all the time and impact others around the world and have these special opportunities and moments with each of you. And I would have missed out on that if I had let fear keep me at bay and if I had waited until I felt ready. So I just want to encourage you to keeping on, to throw away those boxes as Teri shared, and to remember that you are beautifully and wonderfully made, on purpose, for a purpose, absolutely needed. And may you always, always bloom where you're planted and shine. We'll look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Women's Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.